Hey guys, welcome to Original caligulaoctocat. I, of course, am caligulaocto Call of Duty, playing Call of Duty Infinite Warfare today. Actually, we're not really playing it, we're more doing an analysis slash review of the recent Infinite Warfare Sabotage DLC, which includes the multiplayer maps Dominion, Renaissance, Noir, and Neon, which are all good maps in my opinion, but we'll get to that in a minute. And also the new Zombies map, Rave in the Red Woods, which I've been waiting for because I like zombies quite a bit, but these multiplayer maps are also really good. So first off, the first multiplayer map we're doing, as you can see here, is Dominion, which is a remake of the Modern Warfare 2 map, Afghan. So if you've played Afghan and you liked Afghan, you're most likely going to feel the same way about Afghan as you feel about Dominion if you like Infinite Warfare to begin with. But into details, Dominion, if you don't know, if you've never played Afghan or you want to know if this is any different, I never played on Afghan. I never played MW2. But if you want to, in case you've never played that map or you never played MW2 in general, you want to know what it's like. There are a lot of close quarters areas, which is a trend throughout this DLC. We'll get to that in a minute. But there are a lot of close quarters areas, not really as many as the later maps that we'll get into later in the video, but there are a few. There are a few buildings off to the side. There are the crashed air carrier, whatever it is, in the middle of the map. There are areas around the outer edges of the map that are very close quarters, so you're going to be ready for that. The type of players this would be suited to, I would say snipers, pretty much anything close quarters to mid-range is probably what you're going to want to be playing, but there are some good sniping spots, of course. There's some areas near the main part of the map, and there are parts like in windows of buildings that you can sit through, and you can have a pretty good shot as a sniper. And that pretty much covers it for Dominion, I think. They're really good wall running transition spots. They're really good movement spots. I feel like it keeps a steady pace. It's not too fast and it's not too slow. So I really like this map, and I like the next map as well we will get onto, which is Renaissance. Now, Renaissance is a beautiful map. It's a 3-lane map, I believe, which is what most Call of Duty maps are nowadays. And like I said, a lot of these maps have a lot of close quarters areas, and this is no exception. This map is pretty much all close quarters. There's some long line of sights, but like in the middle. But for the most part, what you're going to be playing is close quarters. There's a church area in the middle or near the edge. I'm not really sure the layout exactly of the map, but most of it's close quarters. There are a lot of back alleys and behind buildings and stuff and between walls. There's a lot of that, so if you're going to be playing, expect that. And on this map, I don't expect you to have a very good KD ratio unless you're really good at close quarters, you're really good at the game in general, or you just kind of stick to your own off to the side somewhere for the most part. And this map, like I said, is good for close quarters. I'd say shotguns, SMGs, a quick aim would be good, or even a laser sight. And in the way of snipers and sniping positions, there are good positions for that too. There are a lot of windows and stuff you can look through. I think there are a few actually. But of course there are flanks to that. Some of them don't have many flanks. It really varies on your position, but in this map there aren't that many flanks, so I think snipers will be fine on this map. But just know that for the most part you're gonna be playing close quarters, because I feel like this map is gonna be insane, and it's really like packed in. Like I said, the church will be a big part of that, and this map is just beautifully designed, like most maps on this DLC, or all of them actually. And I really enjoyed playing on it. It's really fun. If you like the advanced movement system, you can take advantage of that, but it's also great to play without using much of it, or if you're playing private, just turning it off. It's a great map for that. It's a great map for advanced movement and your wall running and everything, but it really confines what you can do with these close quarters, and it really, by doing that, it also ups the amount of really cool plays you can pull off by putting you in close quarters. So I think this is going to be a map that a lot of people will like if you're a fan of Infinite Warfare. So I hope you guys enjoy it, because I know I did. And sliding on into the next map analysis, we have Neon, which I was pleasantly surprised by. It might actually bother your eyes a little bit when you first boot it up and start playing, but once you played on it for a few seconds, like a little bit, not long, you'll get used to it. And the only reason I say that is it's really bright white, and it really hits you with that at first, but trust me, it's not really bothersome. It's just something that I didn't expect. It may not affect you at all, but it really doesn't bother me now. It's just when I first started it up. And Neon is a map that is inside of a city simulation that is half glitched, so like half the city's missing. There are parts in the actual playable map that are missing, which you have to use wall running and advanced movement to get around, like, yeah, that kind of thing. But I think there's only like one or two of those. It would have been cool if this were kind of a bigger map and they had more, but this is a pretty good sized map, which I can say of all the maps in this DLC. I wasn't disappointed by their size. You do explode into triangular pixels, I guess, when you die. Some people don't like that kind of thing. Some people didn't like, for instance, I had a friend who didn't like how you exploded into Presence and Winter Crash and Modern Warfare Remastered. So I don't know how you'll feel about this, but it didn't bother me. It was pretty cool, and it fit in with the design of the map. And from a gameplay standpoint, this game, I'm sure, will have snipers galore. There are plenty of vantage points, especially for this size of a map, for a sniper to get in there. But unlike Dominion, I almost said Afghan. Unlike Dominion, no, not Dominion. I was wrong twice on the map. Anyway, unlike Renaissance, there are a lot of flank points. They can jump up beside you, come up behind you from the side if you are a sniper. So I'd watch out for that. Snipers, you might want to move around more than you might usually do. You know, sit somewhere, pull off a shot, and run if that's not what you usually do. You probably only want to stay in a spot for a small amount of time. And that goes for anyone playing this game, no matter if you're a sniper or if you're mid or close range. You're going to want to move a lot probably, because there are a lot of flanks in a lot of these maps, and Neon is included. There are also a lot of close quarters. That's something else I can say that is great about these maps. They have a great variety, mid-range, close quarters, which I love about it. The design is beautiful. That's something that I really like about these maps. And Neon even has a nightclub with some funky music. Trust me, I almost just stopped playing the game to dance to the music. It's pretty fun. So this map, you're going to be wall running to get across a few gaps, maybe, not really, but there are a lot of great opportunities for the advanced movement to get up to viewpoints or to flank someone. And I really love the layout of this map. I love how it's done. There's a city hall, and there are a lot of buildings that provide close quarters and things like that, like the nightclub or the club or whatever it was that I mentioned earlier. So this map has a lot of variety, like most of the maps in the Sabotage DLC. And again, I was pleasantly surprised. And on to the next and final multiplayer map we will be discussing in this video, Noir. And oh my gosh, do I love Noir. It is a great map. It's set in a dystopian New York City, which is also futuristic. It's Blade Runner reminiscent, and it is beautiful. And like all the other maps in this DLC, a lot of close quarters opportunities. You're also going to be mostly mid-range, I believe, but there are buildings and stuff and alleyways, of course, because it's New York City area and dystopian, you know, dark and grimy, rainy and all that. It's a really grounding map for Infinite Warfare. I really like how the dark tone combines with the gameplay to give it a really, you know, kind of unique feel. But it's a cool feel, I know that much. And like I said, it's going to be mostly mid to long range. There are a lot of long lines of sights down alleyways and down sidewalks and stuff like that. But there are some choke points, and there are some close quarters areas, of course. So watch out for that if you're playing hard point or some kind of objective like that. So watch out for those close quarter areas, because they are there. and when you run into them and you run into someone, it feels tense, and I really like that it's able to transition so well, and it's such a well-designed map for all types of players, really. And like I said, with most of the maps, once again, even more than Dominion, I'd say, it would feel really great to play without the advanced movement on in private, or if you're playing split screen or something like that, but it's also great to use it in this map. And so my final verdict for this DLC, also, Noir has a nightclub too, so 10 out of 10. It's also a fairly big map, and it's got a fair variety of locations. I found myself discovering new parts of the map pretty far in, new rooms, new nooks and crannies. It's a pretty great map. So my final verdict for the multiplayer maps, because we still have Raven the Redwoods to get to, but that shouldn't take very long. My final verdict for the multiplayer maps is they've got a great variety of gameplay, great variety of support for gameplay styles even, and a great map design. I love the map design of these maps. Maybe Dominion can't be given all the credit since it's a remake, but it is still wonderful, and I think they did a great job with it, and I think fans will love these maps, because they're really fun to play. If you want to have your wall running, you have your wall running. If you want to turn it off, if you want to leave it, or if you don't want to use it, it's great for that too. It's great for a variety of gameplay situations, like I said. It's great for a variety of weapons because of the opportunities it provides. It provides great flank points and great sniping points to couple there. So I feel like they're also designed in a way that really grounds Infinite Warfare and kind of puts it in a place where it can't be as fast-paced as it would be normally, but it can be, but it kind of coaxes players into playing like kind of slower pace, I feel like, because of all the close quarters areas and the unpredictable nature of the maps, because they transition so well between this mid-range engagement style, long range, and close quarters, and that's what is great about these maps. I really think people will like them, and if not, then I guess you just find a different style of map, because there's a lot of variety in this game. So next up is the final part of the video, the new zombies map, Rave in the Redwoods. Alright, on to the next and final part or discussion of the video, the new zombies feature, Rave in the Redwoods, which sets our new characters into the 1990s summer camp, which is very much in the vein and the style of Friday the 13th. There is a heavy influence here, and it wears that on its sleeves. The new archetype, the nerd, I believe, has become some kind of Jamie Kennedy character. He was in Psycho, and Vanilla Ice is the jock. Sally, which was the female character, is now some sort of Hispanic street gang person, I guess, for some reason. And Leon was his name? I think so. I think it was Leon. He is grunge, like Nirvana and Soundgarden. That's what the new archetypes are anyway. But on to gameplay, it's different because, first of all, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually scary. But it's not scary in the way that, it makes you... Well, it makes you feel scared, but it's not scary. It's more creepy and atmospheric, which I really like. That's really cool. And I think that's partly because of this really cool new setting, which is the summer camp, which is, of course, a classic film genre, kind of Friday the 13th, where you get that from, like I said before. And it's filled with tropes, of course, just like the 80s tropes were all over the place in Zombies in Spaceland, but this seems a little bit more grimy, more gritty, of course. And there's a new character called the Slasher, which is kind of a Jason Voorhees, I think. And as well, Kevin Smith makes an appearance. how David Hasselhoff was the special guest in Zombies in Spaceland. Kevin Smith is a special guest in Rave in the Redwoods, he is the director and star of Clerks. You might know him as Silent Bob. He just released the movie Yoga Hosers. Anyway, that guy. On to the actual gameplay, like I was supposed to be talking about. It's not much different from Zombies in Spaceland, of course. The coin machine that you put souvenir coins in is kind of like a, what are they called? Totem pole. It's kind of like one of those, and you put gems into it. I'm pretty sure the traps and rewards you get for putting gems into it haven't changed because I got the Medusa device out, but it's different in Rave in the Redwoods because you actually don't start with a weapon. You don't start with a pistol. You don't start with anything. In fact, the first weapons you find will most likely be melee weapons. Like you see, I have a machete, but there's also an M1 close by, so there are guns, of course. Guns haven't left. They didn't show off guns much in the trailers, except for the newest one. So some may have thought, oh, they abandoned guns, but of course they didn't abandon guns. They are there. They're just melee weapons on the walls as well for when you start out mostly. So most things haven't changed. Mostly the setting, which is creepy and atmospheric and really cool. Kevin Smith's in it, so that's pretty much Rave in the Redwoods. I like it so far. I'll have to put more time into it. Magic Wheel's the same. All that is the same. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I thought I'd try something different, and I hope you guys like it. I had a lot of fun making this video and putting everything together, so I really hope you guys liked it. Leave a like and let me know in the comments, especially if you did, if you want to see me review or analyze any more upcoming DLC, any more upcoming Call of Duty DLC. Let me know about that, what videos you want me to make that are this kind of thing. If you don't want me to continue this, just let me know, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to end the video here. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. All the good stuff you heard it 1 million times before. I'm not going to give you the whole spill over again. As always, guys, stay tuned for the screenshot of the day. Thank you so much once again for watching.